good, your form's good. It's just, I don't know why you have to make these little videos everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of distracting from your workout. You probably get more.
You think?
Yeah, you get more out of it.
Oh, you think I'd get more out of it?
Yeah.
See, I'm already getting a lot out of it because I make so much money making these like little videos. So.
You on like TikTok or something?
Or something, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Some people want to be as strong as a man. So ladies and gentlemen, this is RFX, in other words, MMA in Romania. And apparently these two women wanted to fight this guy, which is a TikToker. So maybe he can't really fight. And I don't think most people enjoy watching men beating women, but I do think they enjoy watching women realize they're not as strong as they thought.
That's too easy.
The guy weighed twice the ladies, so it's not fair at all. Maybe against 4 ladies, maybe entertain this.
You got me.
Some of these girls train when they're very young, and they can start to be almost as strong as men at specific ages. I mean, I know certain men are just a little more aggressive than women, because that's how we solve our problems. But my point is, certain girls need to train in that direction because it doesn't come naturally. It's not a laughing matter, but still, that is how Eve was born. And you might say men are not built this way, and I would say, well, it's not a laughing matter. Men just educate each other different, with respect.
Bodybuilder invades jiu-jitsu gym and challenges the master. See what happens.
Seriously? Seriously? You gonna learn today? Okay. Remember the chat, man. You fight worse than a girl. You ever go night-night, nigga? You ever go night-night, nigga? I'm gonna call 911.
Very simple. You can't be that disrespectful, but then again, you can't treat a woman like that because that's misogyny, patriarchy and everything. Some men are nice and they still hate them. Because in the end, all I want to point out with the video, there is just a strength difference.
It's an evil world we live in.
Correct.
Certain men are stronger on the floor. But then again, if you have technique, they can also be strong in the air. Here you have a girl from South Africa, so she used to running away from lions, but hey, she also knows she doesn't have to run faster than the lion, she needs to run faster than the other person. And now she's running against a bunch of rugby players with a bunch of muscle, and hey, and I can keep showing a bunch of examples, but hey, then again, there's always a lady with empathy.
Flashback.
If Floyd Mayweather identified as a woman,
Okay.
should he be allowed to box other biological women?
I can't answer this question. I'm gonna get absolutely hated on.
I mean, I see both sides of the argument.
He would kill someone.
This is, okay, that's how I feel about
I think like the physical strength obviously is very unfair, but I'm all about like trans rights and everything like that and equality with like gender and everything, so that's why I kind of get sticky.
I believe so, yes. I don't think that biology necessarily equates to someone's skill range. I don't know, isn't it like boxing? It's just like dangerous overall.
Yeah, anybody could fracture someone's skull. I mean,
You can, but you have a much higher chance, I think, especially if you have like a biological advantage, like with your bone density, with your higher center of gravity, all the things that are advantaged by going through puberty as being male. You take that with you into a fight. It sounds like you guys are all in agreement still.
Yeah. Are they not all being injured like that, right? Are there
So if everybody's being injured, it's fine then if a man is fracturing a woman's skull.
Well, again, trans women are women, so it would be a woman.
Empathy is beautiful, but what you're advocating for, a certain people are going to get hurt. We got doctors, I'm like, yeah, and it can be permanent.
History has been made.
This transgender weightlifter competed in the Olympics. Transgender women, people born male but who identify as female, are winning many competitions.
Dominating the state's girls' track meets.
Some women are upset about that.
Why do I have to compete against a male body?
Leah Schneeberger is a mountain bike racer. She won this race 3 years in a row. But then a former men's cyclist transitioned and competed as a woman. Now that person wins.
How did this happen? I just want to be able to compete on a fair playing field.
Bearden is a road racer and recently won a women's state championship.
Transgender competitors do often take testosterone blockers that help align their body with how they identify.
When I started hormone therapy, within 9 months I was running 12% slower.
Trans athlete Joanna Harper is a scientist who's advised the Olympic Committee.
How is it fair for trans women to compete with women?
Well, trans women lose muscle, lose strength, lose endurance with hormone therapy.
This one is going to be Telfer.
After Cece Telfer won this race, she said,
as a trans athlete, I'm not a threat to women's sports because I am a woman.
But Telfer ranked 390th best competing as a man.
I have to admit, I am somewhat at a loss to explain it.
So even if you tell me, hey man, go fight Mike Tyson, a 12% reduction in his, I'm like, no, that's too strong.
But what about combat sports?
Fox to the knees and that's it.
Trans woman Fallon Fox won most of her fights. She broke this woman's orbital bone. Later she said, I've never felt the strength as I did that night.
Doesn't seem fair.
The idea that trans women are hugely going to outperform cis women does not hold up to the statistics.
But the statistics do say
A male could be 40% stronger than a female on his legs.
Biologist Emma Hilton.
Things like shoulder width. Those things don't change when transgender women suppress testosterone. They don't get shorter. They've still got big lungs.
I can train 20 hours a week, but I cannot train to be a man.
You can't fix some of the performance gaps. The performance gap in weightlifting is over 30%. The performance gap when someone is throwing a baseball is over 50%. And the performance gap when a male punches is 160%.
Even if I wanted to be fair, because I'm like, I don't want you to throw a dart because men have better eye coordination, which is true. Let's assume we can still do that. At least you're not hurting another person. But fighting, running, there's something about it and I'm like, it's just not fair. Especially when you beat people so easily in the scores.
There should be a separate third category for trans people to compete in.
Yeah, no. I wholeheartedly, strongly deny the third category introduction because I'm not third. I deserve to be a part of the female category. I'm female. Males deserve to be a part of the male category.
If you don't want to see trans women competing in women's sports, then you're going to have to allow young children who do not feel, who are experiencing gender dysphoria, to have those drugs when they're younger.
No, not at all.
You are.
In my
because
estimation,
otherwise-
you do one of two things. It's very straightforward. This whole supposed insolvable problem is very straightforward. Trans women either compete against other trans women in an entirely new category, as there are more and more of them competing, or they compete against their biological sex because that is the biology they've been born with. Tell me why that's not fair.
I don't think it's fair that people who've experienced gender dysphoria when they're growing up and don't feel that they are in the right body should not be allowed to compete in sports. And if you're going to take away their
Why
rights...
don't you care? Look, you go on about women's rights, and a lot of the time I agree with you. I want women to enjoy utter fairness and equality.
I think this is fair.
How can you possibly sign up to something that is so grotesquely unfair and unequal?
Even if we want kids to have access to the drugs, at the same time, they will still identify as a woman. So you would not accept the category because the category is discrimination. I was a hairless man with no body hair with a feminine voice and everybody called me a fag. Stop! When all those changed, I didn't feel more like a man. And when I added a new eye, I didn't feel more like a man either. I just felt like always. I'm still a man.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Butta fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam jam, dur loqueta, verdetta, welcome.